Okay, Baksek, are we ready? And also with the TWG, are we ready?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, in the continuance of this private conference, the Vice Chair will preside this proceeding. Baksek, do we still have a quorum?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, with this continuance, maybe we can pass with the invocation and also with the rules. Okay, and then we just proceed with the presentation of the bid docs. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is for the pre-bid conference of the lease of one lot various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement with identification number NPO-BAC-FAL-007-26 with an ABC of 50 million pesos. Mr. Chair, we would just like to acknowledge the prospective bidders present. From Nova Business Systems Incorporated, Ms. Leia Mangilingan. From Island Printing Incorporated, Mr. Fernando R. Bobis. From JI Printers Incorporated, Mr. John Mark Gakayan. And from AP Printing and Packaging, Ms. Juliet A. Villena. And also, this is to inform the body that the NPO BAC sent notice to observers to the following. For the State Auditor, for the Office of the Resident, COA, and Officer in Charge for the NPO MPC, the President of the National Printing Office Workers Association, the Executive Director for Philippine Business for Social Progress, dated April 15, 2026. Mr. Chair, we would like also to recognize the presenter for this bidding documents for the identification number NPO-BAC-FAL-007-26, Ms. Rochelle Ann Palapal, together with Mr. Bldg Tampo.
Ms. Rochelle Palapal and Mr. Eric Tampok. Paul Eric Tampok is hereby recognized to present the bidding documents. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good day, everyone. I am Rochelle Palapal, the presenter for the lease of one lot various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement under identification number NPO-BAC-FAL-007-26 with an ABC of 50 million pesos. For Section 1, Invitation to Bid. Number 1, the National Printing Office, through the Revolving Fund 2026, intends to apply the sum of 50 million pesos, being the approved budget for the contract to payments under the contract for the lease of one lot, various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables, with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. Number 2, the National Printing Office, through the Bids and Awards Committee, now invites bids for the lease of one lot, various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables, with provision of technical support and services under a single-year framework agreement. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids, contracts similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. The award shall be given to the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid following the procedure under Section 61 and 63 of the same IRR. Delivery of the goods is required within the delivery period stated in Section 6 Schedule of Requirements of the bidding documents. Number of lot 1, description, lease of one lot, various printing machines including supply and delivery of consumables with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement with an approved budget for the contract of 50 million pesos. A. 1 unit web continuous form machine, 5 colors, printable width 17 inches, speed at least 140 impressions per minute. B. 1 unit web continuous form machine, 4 colors, printable width 17 inches, speed at least 140 impressions per minute. C. 1 unit web continuous form machine, 3 colors, printable width 17 inches, speed at least 140 impressions per minute. D. 2 units collating machine, paper size 17 inches, speed at least 60 sheets per minute. E. 1 unit bursting machine, printable width 17 inches, speed at least 60 sheets per minute. F. 1 unit barcoding or numbering, paper size 17 inches, speed at least 90 meters per minute. G. 1 unit numbering machine, printable width 15 inches, speed at least 90 meters per minute. H. 1 unit guillotine machine, feeding table 36 inches. I. 1 unit stitching machine, binding thickness 0.0125 inches to 0.75 inches. Paper requirements. Book paper A. 5,000 kg 70 GSM 9.5 inches. B. 5,000 kg 80 GSM 17 inches. C. 5,000 kg 90 GSM 17 inches. D. 100,000 kg 100 GSM 17 inches. Bond paper 1,500 kg 56 GSM 9.5 inches. F. 5,000 kg 48 GSM 9.5 inches. G. 2,500 kg 230 GSM 9.5 inch. Bristle board H. 1,000 kg 96 GSM 10 inch CBS 1. Carbonless paper I. 15,000 kg CB 55 GSM 9.5 inches. J. 10,000 kg CB 55 GSM 11 inches. K. 7,100 kg CB 55 GSM 17 inches. L. 20,000 kg CFB 50 GSM 9.5 inches. M. 11,000 kg CFB 50 GSM 11 inches. N. 13,000 kg CFB 50 GSM 17 inches. O. 15,000 kg CF 55 GSM 9.5 inches. P. 10,000 kg CF 55 GSM 11 inches. Q. 7,100 kg CF 55 GSM 17 inches. Note: technical support services and maintenance, inclusive of the replacement of parts, repair kits, and other various consumables like printing inks, degreaser, gear oil, or cleaning chemicals, hydraulic oil, and other expandables chargeable in click charges of the machines during operation. Number 3, the preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR of RA number 12009. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or sole proprietorships, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country, the law or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA number 5183. Number 4, interested bidders may obtain further information from the NPO BAC Secretariat at contact numbers 8925-2182 or 0917-8155170 and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from Mondays to Thursdays, except holidays from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the NPO BAC Secretariat from the date of posting to May 5, 2026, 10:30 a.m. and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents, pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 25,000 pesos. Bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJEBs and or the website of NPO, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. The NPO will hold a pre-bid conference on April 23, 2026, 10:30 a.m. at the Sylvanus Leech Training Room, 3rd floor of the NPO building. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through the manual submission at the National Printing Office, EDSA Corner, Nia North Road, Diliman, Quezon City, on or before 10:30 a.m. of May 5, 2026. Late bid shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms or in the amount stated in ITB Clause 16.1. Bid opening shall be on May 5, 2026, immediately after the deadline of the submission of the bids. At Sylvanus Leech Training Room, 3rd floor, bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representative who choose to attend the activity. Only 2 representatives per bidder will be allowed to enter the venue. Summary of the bidding activities is as follows. Advertisement or posting of invitation to bid, April 14, 2026. Issuance and availability of bid documents, April 15, 2026. Pre-bid conference, April 23, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. Last day of submission of written clarification, April 25, 2026. Last day of submission of bid bulletin, April 28, 2026. Deadline for submission and receipt of bids, May 5, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. Opening of bids immediately after the deadline for the submission of bids. Bid evaluation within 1 to 2 days after the opening of bids. The NPO reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Roy Leo C. Pablo, Back Secretariat Head, Bids and Awards Committee of National Printing Office. Address EDSA Corner, Nia North Road, Diliman, Quezon City, with contact numbers 8925-2182 or 0917-8155-170, with an email address of backsecretariat@npo.gov.ph. Section 2. Instruction to bidders. We will read on the most relevant matter regarding bidders' responsibility. 6.1. The bidder or its duly authorized representative shall submit an omnibus sworn statement in the form prescribed in Section 8, Philippine Bidding Documents Related Forms, as required in ITB Clause 12.1, Sub-Element 8. Before submitting their bids, the bidder is deemed to be knowledgeable with all existing laws, decrees, ordinances, acts, and regulations of the Philippines which may affect this project in any way. 6.3. The bidder undertook the following responsibilities. A. Took steps to carefully examine and ensure full understanding and comprehension of the bidding documents, its requirements, clauses, and provisions. B. Acknowledge all conditions, local or otherwise, affecting the implementation of the contract. C. Made an estimate of the facilities available and needed for the contract to be bid, if any. D. Complied with the responsibility to inquire or secure the supplemental bid bulletins as provided under ITB Clause 10.4. E. To ensure that it is not blacklisted or barred from bidding by the government of the Philippines or any of its agencies, offices, corporations, or LGUs, including foreign government or foreign or international financing institutions whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPPB by itself or by reason of its relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity. F. To ensure that each of the documents submitted in satisfaction with the bidding requirements is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and that all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. G. Authorize the HOOP or its duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents submitted. H. Ensure that the signatory is the duly authorized representative of the bidder. and grant full power and authority to do, execute, and perform any and all acts necessary to participate, submit the bid, to sign, and to execute the ensuing contract accompanied by a duly notarized special power of attorney, board and or partnership resolution, secretary's certificate, whichever is applicable. I complied with the disclosure provision under Section 81 and 82 of RA number 12009 and its IRR in relation to other provisions of RA 3019. J. Complied with existing labor laws and standards in the case of procurement of services. Moreover, the bidder undertakes to ensure the entitlement of workers' wages, hours of work, safety and health, and other prevailing conditions of work established by the national laws, rules and regulations, or collective bargaining agreement, or arbitration award if and when applicable. In case there is a finding by the procuring entity or the Department of Labor and Employment of underpayment or non-payment of workers' wages and wage-related benefits, the bidder agrees that the performance security or portion of the contract amount shall be withheld in favor of the complaining workers, pursuant to the appropriate provisions of RA number 12009, without prejudice to the institution appropriate actions under the Labor Code, as amended and other social legislation. Comply with occupational safety and health standards and correct deficiencies if any. In case of imminent danger, injury, or death of the worker, the bidder undertakes to suspend contract implementation pending clearance to resume from the Dole Regional Office in compliance with the work stoppage order and inform the workers of their conditions of work, labor clauses under the contract specifying wages, hours of work, and other benefits under prevailing national laws, rules and regulations, or CBA, or arbitration award, if and when applicable, through posting in two conspicuous places in the establishment's premises. K. To ensure that it did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary, or otherwise to any person or official, personnel, representative of the government in relation to any procurement project or activity. L. Examine all instructions, forms, terms, and specifications in the bidding documents. M. Determine and complied with all matters pertaining to the contract to be bid, including but not limited to the location and the nature of this project, climatic conditions, transportation facilities, and other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of this project. And ensure that all information in the bidding documents, including bid or supplemental bid bulletins issued, are correct and consistent. The procuring entity shall not assume any responsibility regarding erroneous interpretation or conclusions by the prospective or eligible bidder out of data furnished by the procuring entity. Failure to observe any of the above responsibility shall be at the risk of the bidders concerned. 6.4. Further, the bidder shall bear all costs associated with the preparation and submission of its bid, and the procuring entity shall in no case be responsible or liable for those costs regardless of the conduct or outcome of the bidding process. In case of failure of bidding, the bidding documents fee may be applied in the rebidding of the same project. 6.5. Furthermore, the bidder should be aware that the procuring entity will accept bids only from those that have paid the applicable fee for the bidding documents at the office indicated in the invitation to bid. Section 3, bid data sheet. ITB Clause 1.1, the procuring entity, the National Printing Office, with the project title, Lease of one lot various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement. Under identification number NPO-BAC-FAL-007-26. ITB Clause 1.2, the number of lots, 1. ITB Clause 2, the funding source is the GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for 2026 in the amount of 50 million pesos. The source of funding is through the revolving fund. 5.5. ITB Clause 5.4, the bidder's SLCC similar to the contract to be bid should have been completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. ITB Clause 5.5, for the purpose of similar contracts, it shall be defined as: first, the bidder must have completed within a period of 5 years from the submission of bid an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistic Authority Consumer Price Indices. Bidders must present a combination of contracts completed within the same period, provided their total value is at least 50% of the ABC. Thus, A, the bidder should have completed at least one similar contract amounting to at least 25% of the ABC, and the bidder should have completed other contracts, whether similar or not, with an aggregated amount of at least 25% of the ABC. 2. Classified as similar contracts: list of printing machines or security printing services. ITB Clause 12, documents comprising the bid, technical and financial components. 12.1, the first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents: A, valid and updated PhilJobs Certificate of Registration Platinum Membership, including Annex A of the PhilJobs registration. B, original and duly signed statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, similar to the procurement project to be bid, as provided in the bid datasheet ITB Clause 5.5 of the bidding documents. The bidder shall attach any of the following: official receipt, sales invoice, certificate of acceptance with at least satisfactory rating. C, the bidder's original and duly signed computation of net financial contracting capacity must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, or committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation must be at least equal to 10% of the ABC to be bid. D, the bidder's original and duly signed statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. E, duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements of all potential JV partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful. F, if applicable, original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount in accordance with ITB Clause 16, and validity period under ITB Clause 15. If in the amount of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or if applicable, original copy of the duly notarized bid securing declaration. G, conformity with the technical specification under Section 6 and 7 of the bidding documents and supplemental bid bulletin, if any, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after-sales parts if applicable. H, original duly signed and notarized omnibus sworn statement in accordance with Section 54.3 of RA number 12/009, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officers to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. I, for foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or product. 12.2, the second bid envelope shall contain the following financial documents: J, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form with proper reference or project ID number and bid bulletin number, if any. Each page shall be signed or initialed. K, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule in accordance with ITB Clause 13.1. Each page shall be signed or initialed. L, if applicable, certificate of domestic preference in accordance with ITB Clause 25. Note, notarized documents as stated or stipulated in herein checklist must bear the complete details of the notary public as follows: name of the notary public, office address, and regular place of work or business, validity of notarial commission, IBPOR number, roll number, PTR number, and at least MCLE compliance 8 or as applicable. ITB Clause 12.4, the ABC is 50 million pesos. Any bid with a financial component exceeding the amount shall not be accepted. ITB Clause 15.1, bids will be valid for 120 calendar days from bid opening. ITB Clause 16.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following. First, the amount of not less than 2% of the ABC or 1 million pesos. If bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check. 2, the amount of not less than 5% of the ABC or 2.5 million. If bid security is in bank draft, guarantee, irrevocable LOC, or surety bond. Bid securities other than the bid securing declaration shall be turned over to the NPO cashier section for custody. The bid securing declaration shall be in the custody of the bank secretariat. Bid security shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expunction, or any form of correction. Otherwise, NPO may reject any such security if any such intercalation, superimposition, or alteration affects any material information or feature of the document. ITB Clause 16.2, the bid security shall be valid for 120 calendar days from bid opening. ITB Clause 18, for the submission of bid proposal, each bidder shall submit only one copy of the first and second components of its bid. The bidder shall enclose their technical document described in ITB Clause 12 in one sealed envelope marked technical component and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component. Both envelopes shall be enclosed in one single outer or mother envelope marked bid, properly labeled, sealed, and signed by the bidder or its authorized representative. The markings on all envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entity's back in accordance with ITB Clause 1.1, bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the ITB Clause 1.1, and bear a warning do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with ITB Clause 19. To facilitate the receipt and classification of bid envelopes, outer or mother envelope shall be in color red, the inner envelope containing technical proposal shall be in blue, the inner envelope containing financial proposal shall be in green, the post-qualification document shall be in brown. Bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in the bidding document shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for misplaced or lost contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. On the other hand, unsealed and/or unmarked bid envelopes or bids that cannot be opened or corrupted in case of online submission shall be rejected. Note, notarized documents as indicated or stipulated in here checklist must bear the complete details of the notary public as follows: name of the notary public, office address and regular place of work or business, validity of notarial commission, IBPOR number, roll number, PTR number, and at least MCLE compliance 8 or as applicable. Any supplemental bid bulletin issued by the bank shall also be posted in the field jobs in any conspicuous place in the premises of the procuring entity and on the website or social media platforms of the procuring entity, if applicable, or such other channels as may be authorized by the GPPB. It shall be the responsibility of all the prospective bidders, including those who have properly secured the bidding documents, to inquire and secure supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued by the bank. ITB Clause 19, the address for the submission of bids is through manual submission at the National Printing Office, EDSA Corner near North Road, Diliman, Quezon City. The deadline for the submission and receipt of bids is on May 5, 2026, 10:30 a.m. ITB Clause 22.1, the place of the bid opening is at John Sylvanus Leech Training Room, 3rd floor. The date and time of bid opening is immediately after the deadline of the submission of bids. ITB Clause 26.3a, the award criterion shall be determined as the lowest calculated responsive bid. ITB Clause 27.1, post-qualification documents may be submitted during the bidding, but this does not disqualify bidders who will not submit post-qualification documents during bid submission. Within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that it submitted the lowest calculated bid or single calculated bid, the said bidder shall submit the following post-qualification documents. First, when applicable, copies of contract, purchase order, notice to proceed, notice of award, letter of extension duly signed by the same individual whose name and signature appears on the original contract or his or her authorized representative, but with a corresponding letter of the authority designating the sanction or endorsed signatory of projects stated in the statement of all ongoing projects, including those awarded but not yet started. 2. Valid SEC registration or DTI registration. Third, bylaws as applicable. Fourth, articles of incorporation or amended articles of incorporation as applicable. 5. Updated general information sheet duly stamped received by the SEC or any proof of receipt submission made thereto as applicable. 6. Valid mayor's permit. 7. Updated or renewed tax clearance. 8. Latest income and business tax returns filed manually or with EFPS. 9. Updated or latest audited financial statement with proof of receipt by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution. Note, photocopied documents submitted shall be initialed or signed by the authorized representative. During the inspection of the post-qualification team, the winning bidder shall present the original copies of these documents for comparison. In the event that site inspection cannot be undertaken, it is the responsibility of the winning bidder to present the original post-qualification documents for comparison within the post-qualification period. In compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents and Section 63.3 of the IRR of RA number 12009, the BAC shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the eligibility documents supporting the field job certificate of registration and all the other statements made, and documents submitted by the bidder with the LCB using a non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. This criterion shall consider but shall not be limited to the following. A. Legal requirements to verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 54 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a portal which contains the consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. B. Technical requirements to verify and validate bidders' stated compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements to verify and validate the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents or the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. 31.3. The performance security shall be in the form of a performance securing declaration as an option if under a framework agreement arrangement or any of the following. The amount of not less than 5% if performance security is in guarantee or irrevocable LOC, or the amount of not less than 30% of the contract price if performance security is surety bond.
Mga basic requirements for post-qual. For number 10, mayroon rin tayong nire-require na post-qualification documents. Baka pwede na lang natin, para template na po natin ito. Lagyan po ng number 10 or number 10, documents for submission under Section 7 if any. Para kahit hindi i-mention dyan, refer to Section 7, ano yung mga documents na nire-require for submission. Any comments from the members of the board? Kasi one time, nagpapirma sila sa akin, buti na lang, hindi ko napirmahan dahil sabi ko merong Section 7 ito, other requirements, or else hindi na nila maisasubmit yun. Pero kung nakalagay dito, refer lang to Section 7, automatic na. Okay. Okay. Continue.
Skip mo na yan. Section 5, special conditions of the contract.
Mr. Chair, and that also may be also appear in the first bidding documents. The first, first project mentioned earlier. Yeah.
GCC Clause 1A, the procuring entity, the National Printing Office. GCC Clause 1C, the funding source is the GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for 2026 in the amount of 50 million pesos. The source of funding is through the revolving fund. GCC Clause 1D, the project site is the National Printing Office, EDSA Corner near North Road, Diliman, Quezon City. GCC Clause 10.3, the terms of payment shall be upon delivery and acceptance of services and goods as stipulated in the call-off. GCC Clause 16.1, the inspections and tests that will be conducted are the ones issued by the NPO as the need arises. GCC Clause 17.3, 1 year after acceptance by the procuring entity of the delivered services, if applicable. Section 6. Schedule of requirements. The delivery schedule expressed in weeks or months indicates the required delivery date, which shall be understood as the date of the goods are to be delivered to the project site. Terms of payment. Framework agreement effectivity, lease period, 1 year. Delivery terms, delivery schedule. The winning bidder shall provide a detailed work plan, if applicable, on the delivery, installation, testing, and commissioning of equipment within 3 calendar days upon signing of the framework agreement, and deployment of machines within 45 calendar days upon signing of the framework agreement. Terms of payment, payment shall be made on a per call-off or running basis and or from income realized by the NPO from whatever sources. Section 7, technical specifications. Bidder must state comply or not comply for each specification and provide the corresponding performance parameters for offered equipment. Each response must be supported by a clear documentary support in the bid and properly cross-referenced. Acceptable evidence includes unaltered manufacturer sales brochures, official specification sheets, product samples, independent test results, and similar documents. Claim should be backed by a documentary support. If the evidence contradicts the claim, the bid may be rejected. Any false statement, whether in the compliance form or supporting documents, found during evaluation, post-qualification, and contract implementation may be considered fraudulent in accordance with the ITB Clause 3.1 and without prejudice to the imposition or of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal penalty in accordance with law. Additional requirements. The winning bidder shall submit duly notarized affidavit of the following: proof of ownership or the right to use the machines, equipment, peripherals under Section 6. Guarantee that the printing machine, equipment, and peripherals shall meet the printing requirements as provided in Section 7, technical specification of herein bidding documents, and that the parts needed for the repair of the printing machines, equipment, peripherals shall be available for 1 year from the receipt of the notice to execute framework agreement. Guarantee that the availability of at least 2 or more service technicians as deemed necessary during operation. 2 service technicians shall perform or conduct the needed preventive maintenance on a monthly basis to ensure continuity of operations and to prevent breakdown of the leased machines, equipment, peripherals, as well as the necessary repairs as the need arises. A report must be submitted to the procuring entity, duly certified by its representatives, with pictures to substantiate the preventive maintenance and/or repairs undertaken thereto. Number 2, the leased machines will be strictly for NPO. As such, no other printing jobs will be loaded on the leased machines. Random or unannounced inspections will be conducted regularly. Violations thereto shall be grounds for termination of the lease contract. 4, the winning bidder shall insure all leased machines, equipment, peripherals, and other related materials with a reputable insurance company for the duration of the term of the lease to recompense or compensate NPO for any probable damage as a result of fire, earthquake, floods, civil disturbance, theft, and vandalism. Failure to obtain such insurance shall render the bidder liable for any loss or damage resulting therefrom and shall thereby indemnify NPO for any and all loss of damage it may incur as a result of such failure to obtain insurance. The bidder shall provide a certification as proof of its compliance to the above-mentioned condition or requirement. 5, the replacement of spare parts shall be for the account of the winning bidder. 6, in the event of a deficiency or shortages of consumables, the supplementary requirement necessary for the completion of the project shall be provided by the winning bidder at no cost to NPO. 7, upon the completion of the job or project and/or termination or expiration of a contract, whichever comes first, the supplier or lessor shall return and/or turn over to NPO all materials and/or consumables related to the production. Section 8, Philippine bidding document related forms. Mr. Chair, that concludes the presentation of the bidding documents.
Thank you, Rochelle. For number 8, please use the prescribed form. Any questions from Nova? From Ms. Lancer? Sa GI? Sa Advance? Okay. The back extend our appreciation for attending this pre-bid conference. And the bidding documents will be made available for those interested to participate in the bidding until the submission and opening of bids. And if you have questions after this activity, you may go directly and ask assistance through the back secretariat. Thank you very much. You are now excused. Thank you. PWG.
Mr. Chair, the TWG respectfully recommends the issuance of a bid bulletin for the project Lease of one lot, various printing machines, including supply and delivery of consumables, with provision of technical support and services through framework agreement with identification number NPO-BAC-FAL-007-26 to formalize agreed upon amendments. Accordingly, the bid bulletin shall be posted and uploaded on the NPO and Bldg's website and be displayed prominently within the NPO premises.
GTWG's recommendation is now before the body in the motion from the members of the back.
I move to adopt the recommendation made by the Technical Working Group, Mr. Chair.
An objection? Hearing none, the recommendation is now adopted. Please take note, back secretariat, and made the necessary adjustment.
Duly noted, Mr. Chair.
Other matters to discuss?
There are three matters to be discussed, Mr. Chair. First is the product presentation of International Fine Paper Exchange Incorporated.
Please read, Ma'am Rochelle.
Product presentation. This is with reference to your letter dated February 27, 2026 regarding the proposal to
Before the adjournment pala, just want to remind po yung ating security. Baka mapirmahan po ngayon ni ma'am. And possible po na ma-pick up din today yung notice, NOAA. And if the bidder mag-submit siya by next week or Monday or Tuesday, ano bang date? Performance ban. The TWG, ITWG, the Back Secretariat recommends for the adjournment of the activity.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the recommendation.
In objection, hearing none, the activity is hereby adjourned at 12 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much.